Hey everyone, what's going on? How are you doing today? Looks like Aptera is still reaching out to get some help and they are enlisting US capital to give them a hand. Is US capital going to give them 50 million or 60 million dollars in a loan? Well, let's see if we can't figure that out. Let's check this baby out. Well, welcome back to my channel. It's good to have you here. It's good to have everybody. And we are just waiting for that moment for Aptera to go ahead and go into mass production. And so the question probably on everybody's mind is Aptera going to get a 50 million or 60 million dollar loan from US capital like what is stated in this video right here?
I can't believe I didn't ask you before now. Can I ask how much money they gave you?
The U.S. Capitol deal?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're working on about a $60 million funding plan for production. It could be a little less, could be a little more. We're looking at other equipment financing and debt financing too. So there'll be a lot of pieces of the puzzle that actually get us to production and beyond. But U.S. Capitol is amazingly capable and they're a global firm, and we look to do some pretty great things with them.
Okay, so the point is, though, you can produce what you're planning now based on that money, and actually you're not going to be forced to perhaps go to the public markets for cash, at least in the interim. That's sort of what I was getting at there.
So it sounds like they're getting some kind of funding from US capital, and I'm not sure if they're getting debt financing or if they're getting investment financing. Either way, they're going to get some money from US capital, and it sounds like it's a done deal. And one of the things that might help us out was a earlier video that Chris Anthony did. Let's listen to what he says in that one.
We've enlisted U.S. capital to fund our production plan. The money they raise would unlock a majority of our $21 million CEC grant. It will also unlock equipment financing opportunities to complete our factory build-out and start volume production.
So it sounds like to me like they're going to get U.S. capital to get investors together to invest in what Aptera is doing. Very similar to right here what Republic did. They gathered investors to help finance Aptera and everything that they're getting involved with. And the reason why I say that is because, well, let's take a look at what U.S. capital is. And here you can see that U.S. capital, I mean, they do several things here. Looks like they are involved with a bank and they do investments. They have different type of services here. A lot of this I'm not familiar with. I don't know anything about banking or that sort of thing. I do very little investing, so it looks like that's probably their main thing. Investing in new upcoming companies, like this company here that they actually invest in. What is this? Investment opportunities in plant-based pharmaceutical companies. So it looks like they do a lot of investing in new upcoming companies. And no doubt that Aptera is basically a new upcoming company, and their offices are in different places around the world. One of the main offices right here, their global headquarters is in San Francisco, which isn't too far from Carlsbad, California, where Aptera's main facility is at. But they also have a number of different offices in the United States. They got an office in Costa Rica. But some of these places should sound familiar. Like they have an office right here in London. That's a regional headquarters. They have a regional headquarters in the United Arab Emirates in Dubai. And we know that Aptera was just there not too long ago. But they also have an office right here in Italy, and that's very close to where the CPC is located at, where Aptera is having all their vehicles stamped, and the first set of vehicles are pretty much going to be put together there I mean, the finalizing put together of the PI is going to be in Carlsbad, California, but they're doing a lot of things in Italy. So no doubt they are probably going to get investors that already know about Aptera, or probably people that Steve and Chris have already talked to, and they're going to help gather money for that as well. And I think that I don't care where Aptera gets the money from, as long as they get started. I know once they get started, they are really going to start snowballing, and people are really going to want to get their vehicle from Aptera because it's a solar powered, low drag efficient, aerodynamic vehicle that a lot of people would want to use since they're getting most of their power free. They're getting it from the sun. The sun is really going to power their vehicle, and they won't have to pay a penny for it. So no doubt that once people start realizing that, they're going to go with what Aptera is doing instead of going with these other vehicles where they have to fork out money to put power into the vehicle. I mean, that should be a no-brainer to want to do that. But like I said, that's what's probably going to happen. Once they get the money and they start producing their vehicles, then a lot of people are going to jump on board, and Aptera is really just going to shoot through the roof. But another thing I like about Aptera is they're not putting all their eggs in one basket.
We're basically working on a multi-pronged approach to funding, which is equipment financing, which is debt, which is equity financing, not just from the crowdfunding, but from other larger investors, big funds, institutionals, grants, and big loan programs like the DOE loan program. We think all of those together will be key pieces in getting this vehicle into production. I would love to have an inspired billionaire walk through the door and hand us a very large check, and we can just execute it on everything, all at once. But we don't need to spend all of our money at once.
Right. It's about, I think, most of the capital is spent over a 6-7 month window.
It's like 9 months where we spend, most of the capital that we need for production. And yes, if we're able to raise $50 million tomorrow, that takes care of a big chunk of the early spend. So when this accelerator program started and we started bringing in funds from the accelerator program, we started immediately deploying that, and that's a good chunk of what we need to get to production. And hopefully we'll double the amount that we've raised with that accelerator program or more, as people get excited about earning the top spots over the next few months. And if that becomes a $30 million chunk, then great. That's amazing progress. And will be added into the other pieces, debt financing and grants and loans, and all that will come together for the production equipment and tooling that we need in the factory here.
So as you can see, they're doing several things to get the funding they need to get Aptera on the road. I mean, whether it's a grant or a loan, or whether they get investors involved, whatever they're going to do, they're going to get the Aptera out. And that's what I love about them. That's why, this company is going to go far, because not only are they looking at multiple faceted ways to get capital infused into their company, but they are taking their time and being very careful about how they're spending the capital that they have. And that's why they've lasted so long. I mean, no company would have lasted this long on just $100 million. There is no way. No company could do that. I don't care if you're the big boy Ford or Chevy or Toyota, it doesn't matter. There is no way they would have survived on just $100 million. I mean, Tesla had problems and they had $450 million to work with from the grant from the government. But anyway, I see Aptera really doing some fantastic things, and I want your opinion on it. How do you feel about how they're going about doing this? This company is really going to make some fantastic moves very soon. And with you putting more than one egg in one basket, that just gives you so many options, so many different ways you can go if one doesn't work out too good. But anyway, I see that they're doing some fantastic things. What do you think? And I'm going to go ahead and end this here. Just appreciate everything that Steve, Anthony, and Chris Fambro is doing, because they are really keeping this company alive. And kudos to all the Aptera team, all the engineers. They are really doing some fantastic things. But anyway, give a shout out to my Patrons. Thank you very much. You guys really keep me afloat. And also, if you're new here, hit the like, ring the bell, subscribe. You'll catch all my Aptera videos when they come out. But we ought to be hearing some very good news very soon. So keep your ear peeled, and you'll be hearing some good things from me very soon. Y'all take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. All right. Bye-bye.